guess the first video from the actual job site here, with my commentary. But so what is I'm forming up for a footer. A footer is what holds up your basement or crawl space walls. Mine will be made out of block. Instead of using the actual soil itself as the form for the footer, which you can do, I just excavated this whole thing out to about 48 inches below grade. My frost line is at 36 inches, so if you can imagine, that's where the frost will go. This footer, the very top of it, needs to be at the bottom of that frost line. But anyway, what I have here is this laser that I bought. It's a Vever brand laser. Would not recommend. It's a budget laser. That's why I bought it. But as I'm leveling here, I'm checking with my 6-foot level. But what I've found, all these, I use my 6-foot level. Everything's good. I've verified it with the laser level, and it's all level. However, when I got over here to these forms, I started having some discrepancies. I think it was this board. Yeah, this board. The laser, I'm hitting each end of the board here. This is aligning with the laser, and this was not. When I checked it with my level, it was out of level. So kind of frustrating, and the instructions on the laser are not good. They are definitely translated to English, but so what I'm doing here is I have maybe you can't see it that well. This is just a regular string line, and I've got it tacked in around this corner right here. It doesn't really matter exactly where. I could check at this point, my squareness, but I've already kind of established square, so I think it's within a tolerance that I'm all right with. But what I have here is a cheap $5 or less Empire brand line level. So I'm about dead center between this point and that point. So I put my line level right here, and it's like perfectly dead center. These definitely have I wouldn't say it's perfect. I watched a video, I think it was Essential Craftsman, and he said over a 40-foot span there was about a 5/8 inch discrepancy, which is actually pretty impressive for such a cheap little device. This is not how I would recommend to use it. I would recommend that you just get a transit level that works, but sometimes you just have to make do with what you have. So that's how we're going to do it, and we'll see what happens. Here's the progress update for today. Got all these outside forms done. This soil is really a pain in the butt to deal with. It's really rocky and stiff, so I think for this last corner section right here, I'm going to get I don't have a pickaxe, so I'm going to get a pickaxe, or pickmatic, whatever you want to call it, and kind of chip that out, because it's kind of a high spot. You can see where I took the excavator and skid loader in here, so I kind of had to backtrack, and I didn't dig myself out enough there really. So that's okay. I'll just have to do some trenching, but that's what I got done today in about 5 hours or something like that. Here we have I just did another line across this section to make sure everything's nice and leveled so far, and pretty good, so I can live with that. Yeah. Hey y'all, we're back on the job site again today. This might turn into a really long video. I don't know what's going in video 1 and video 2, or 3 or 4, but working on forms again. This is what I got done the other day. I think I described that in a previous clip, but I'll reiterate here in case I wasn't clear. Basically, this is a pad. The footer of a house is basically a concrete pad reinforced with rebar. that your block walls for your basement or crawl space sit on. My frost depth here in Ohio is 36 inches below grade. So if you can visualize that is 36 inches to the depth at which the frost reaches in the wintertime. So these forms, the pad that your block wall sits on has to be below, the top of it has to be below that frost line, or else in the winter the frost would get underneath your footing and heave the whole house up. So that's why you have to do that. Yep, so I'm probably going to put this on a time lapse of me doing some hard labor here to dig out the rest of this with this pickaxe I just bought. And that won't be fun, but you get to see it. All right. Hello. Progress is very slow. If I didn't mention it before, this was kind of like a dump site for this dude. Doing it before, lots of concrete and asphalt. I've gotten about this far with the old pickaxe. Well, partially because I was thinking ahead, and I was thinking that there'd have to be another form board right over here, 16 inches away from that one. So I just started digging a wider trench, but it's been a pain as expected. But I got this section, and then that shouldn't be as bad because that ground is pretty wet, and it's mostly just soil on this straight. So that's probably all I'm gonna get done today, and that's okay. We're building a house. It's not a race. Alright, so I've taken a break from digging here. Still very slow progress. I mean, if it's any indication, you can kind of see the dark soil there. That's all that's come out of that little trench, so it's been a hell of a time. You can see it's just rocks and concrete and bricks. But so I took a break and I pulled some more string lines. I pulled one across this way, and then I pulled one from here to back here to see like a cross point and see how much I was off level. These two boards needed adjusting anyway, so I think that I'm pretty happy with that. It's really hard to tell from the video, but it's about, I don't know, a quarter or a half inch across this 32-foot span. Yeah, that's kind of a good it's really hard to see, but I think after I adjust those two boards, that will be pretty darn close, because these are two really taut lines. They're really super tight. So if that's how much I'm off right now over that amount of space, I am totally cool with that. But obviously I'm going to try to fix it. And definitely I'm going to try to figure out this rotary laser. It's just giving me a bunch of trouble, but I'm going to try to figure it out, and we're going to keep on keeping on. And now that I'm thinking about it too, this is the center of this line. So this would be the most the point of the most sag. So again, I think that's pretty good. I think it's less than a ½ inch. But I just thought of that too. Thought I should add that. Okay. All right. So leaving the job site today. Didn't get as much done as I wanted to. You know, if you want to get into the trades, just understand that that's how it's going to go all the time. I literally dug a what would that have been, 16-foot trench, about 16 inches deep at the deepest point and 16 inches wide. That's all I did today, and I set one form board. I guess I pulled some string lines too to make sure to check my work, but yeah, it happens. Don't get discouraged if you embark on a project. Just keep on going. It happens. All right, I think this will be the end of this episode. We'll see. Take care.